We don't talk about vocal, no, no, no. We don't talk about vocal. Yeah! Hello, my name is Sylvie. I'm a former fanfiction writer turned published author. And yeah, guess what? I believe this is part 3 of the Is Vocal Media a Scam debate. You know, I've been actually musing over whether or not I should change my channel's name to The Vocal Minority because I seem to be the one person on here on YouTube constantly talking about vocal media. But I don't know. What do you think? I kind of like how it is now, but maybe I should make just a separate channel talking specifically about vocal media. If you think that's a good idea, put it in the comments below. I'd be interested to know your opinions on that. Anyway, yes. So I have been writing on vocal media since about January or February of 2021. So it's now been over a year since I've contributed to the writing platform. And I wanted to give my full 1-year review on what I think of it. How does it stack up against competitors such as Medium? And have they gotten better over the 12 months that I've been participating in the platform, or have they gotten worse? So I'm just going to go over my personal experience. Everyone's mileage may vary, as you will see when I give some of my anecdotes during my review. But generally, I had an okay time writing for vocal media. Spoiler alert, I'm going to reiterate what I've said in all of my previous videos. I don't believe vocal media is a scam. There is some value to be had from the platform. And you can see that when you go on some of the Facebook groups that focus on vocal media. There's a lot of people that don't care about the writing challenges. There are people who use vocal media to expand their horizons and to hone their creativity without the concern of making a profit from their words. And that's totally fine. That's a noble hobby to have, and more power to the people that are using it just for a hobby. I'm going to be talking about my experience as a person who signed up for the platform Vocal Media with the intent of making money. When I signed up to Vocal Media last year, it was primarily to participate in the Little Black Book Challenge. As I've said in my previous videos, Vocal Media's claim to fame is with their vocal writing challenges. The Vocal Media writing challenges are these contests that Vocal Media have to get a lot of entrants into different themed topics, and all with the intent of getting a cash prize. In the case of Vocal Media's The Little Black Book Challenge, the grand prize was $20,000, which was the highest amount of money they had ever released for a contest. And it brought a lot of people to the platform, so more power to them. I didn't win, but I decided to stick around for a bit longer. I entered a few more contests, and then I kind of grew tired of having to pay the monthly $10 Vocal Plus premium membership fee. So I stayed on as a free member for a few months. One thing I'd like to bring up is a little more than 6 months after I had started writing for Vocal Media, I was contacted by Vocal Media to participate in a survey, or just sort of a 1-hour think tank with the Vocal Media team. They picked a lot of members of Vocal Media and promised them $100 and a full year Vocal Plus membership for their time. So I agreed to participate, and I was actually put on the standby list, which basically meant if the person they actually wanted to talk to showed up, I didn't have to stay for a full hour. And as luck would happen, the first participant did show up, so it was the easiest $100 that I ever made. And on top of that, I got a free membership. So yes, as of right now, I am technically still a Vocal Plus member. The main question is whether or not I will continue on with the Vocal Plus membership once the annual subscription is done. So as I said, they have the writing challenges. Have they gotten better? I've spoken in length in my previous video about some of the concerns I had with the vocal writing challenges. And I have mentioned that Vocal Media have made steps to be more transparent with their rules and terms. So for that, they can be commended. I still think it's a sweepstakes. I still think you have just as much a chance of winning one of the vocal media challenges as if you were to scratch off a lottery ticket. That's not to say you won't win, and that's not to say the judging panel doesn't judge based on pure merit of a piece, but I still think it's unwise to sign up with the hope of winning these large sums of money, because a very small amount of people actually come out with a prize. So there's that. And there were a few odd things going about with the vocal media challenges. There's some things that have maybe rubbed people the wrong way. One thing is recently Vocal Media had launched for the first time in quite some time. Vocal Media had announced a writing challenge that did not require a Vocal Plus membership. I haven't been really keeping track with which contests do and which contests don't require the membership, but shortly after the Little Black Book Challenge, a lot of the challenges, in fact, I'm pretty sure all of the challenges required that you had to pay for the membership. So this Ukraine one stuck out because it's the first one in a long while where if you're a free member, you don't have to commit to paying the fee in order to participate. I've seen on Medium, this kind of rubbed some of the vocal media members the wrong way, because it almost feels like vocal media is exploiting a very bad situation in Ukraine. This war is bad. It's people are dying, people are getting hurt, people are getting displaced, and vocal media's first thought is to slap together a contest and bring in more traffic that could potentially be converted into membership. And there is admittedly something very scuzzy about that. I respect that they're not making money from this particular contest, but still, the sheer fact that they saw this really global tragedy as a way to make money, it understandably rubs a lot of people the wrong way. So there's that. There's also the Vocal Fiction Award. Once again, I did not win, and that's okay. As I said, I'm kind of overdoing the challenges. I did that one because I had a short story in my back pocket that I thought I could use just to see what would happen. So I didn't write anything brand new. I didn't waste my time to participate in the Vocal Short Fiction Award. And I didn't win. I didn't even get part of the finalist list, and that's fine. I want to touch a bit on the finalist list. So how the Vocal Fiction Awards challenge worked was people entered the contest way back in October. The Vocal Fiction contest opened way back in October of 2021, and it closed around the end of the year, December 29th. Then, after about 2 months, then Vocal Media announced the finalist list. A month after the contest, there was a very long list of individuals who were all to be gifted free annual memberships. It was a huge list. I don't recall exactly. I think it was 1,000 people, and that's a lot. That was part of the reason I did it, because even if I didn't win, I thought I had a good chance of getting the membership. Anyway, so once that long list came out, the entrants would have to wait another month before the finalists were actually announced. And it's the finalists that actually got the grand prize. I don't recall how much it was. It was a considerable amount of money for each individual. I think each person got, at least $1,000. I should have checked that, but it was a huge pot for the Vocal Fiction Awards. So I recently read, once again on Medium, a person that participated in the Vocal Fiction Awards. They did not win, but they were one of the many long list entrants. So, as per the rules, they should have gotten a full annual membership. But when they contacted Vocal Media, the Vocal Media team explained, oh yeah, well, yeah, you did win, but as per our guidelines, the free membership will only become active 45 days after the contest closes. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of math here. We're gonna do the math time. The pop quiz hot shot. Oh, so we're not gonna do that. Forgive me if I'm looking down. My notes are down here. So yeah, the contest officially opened on October 13th, 2021, and the contest closed on December 29th, 2021. Okay, the final results were announced February 25th. So let's think about this. Let's assume you waited until the very last day to enter the Fiction Award Challenge. So you waited until December 29th, you submitted your entrant, you waited about a month, and voila, you found out you're one of the long list contestants. Congratulations, you're going to get a free membership in 45 days. So February 25th is when you officially find out who actually won. Let's say, okay, you didn't win, but at least you're going to get that membership. So assuming it's the day of that they start counting, you won't be able to activate your membership until April 10th. So think about it. You've already been paying just to participate in the contest. And I assume, again, to be fair, vocalmedia has never outwardly said you had to be a member during this waiting period, but I assume if you wanted to maintain your eligibility, you should continue to be a member during the contest. So if you had signed up the same day that you entered, October 13th, you sign up on October 13th. You got to wait another month, so November 13th. Now we're in December. So, okay, so now you're paying $3, and December, the contest closes. Oh, but you can't stop yet because you have to wait for the results. So January rolls around. You find out you're in the long list. So okay, I'm going to stick around a little bit longer. February rolls around and you finally find out who wins. You didn't win, but you're on the long list. So you're now already signed up for 5 months. That's $50. But now you have to wait another 45 days. So you don't actually get to get the membership until you've spent $50, $60. It's crazy. I don't know. I've never heard of a company work like this. It's insane. So yeah, there's that. I would be pretty mad too. You're signing up with the hopes of at least getting a membership, but you're only really going to get half of that membership back because you've spent half the year waiting for the results of this contest. It's absurd. So yeah, that's my little gripe with the vocalmedia challenges, but we're not done yet. I just wanted to talk a bit more about some of the other going-ons with vocalmedia. So I've complained in the past that they don't have a proper edit feature for vocalmedia. I mean, over the years, over the 12 months that I've been there, admittedly, they have implemented a quick edit feature, but it's, again, only for paying members, only for the Vocal Plus members. So there's that. Recently, they've announced they're finally going to add some sort of engagement tracker, which is great, but I think most people were expecting comments. Instead, vocalmedia has implemented this weird reader insight feature. So it's basically a bunch of rote stock responses like, that was great, it's good storytelling, I could follow the plot. Like, you can't give your own bespoke response to other people's work, which I think is ridiculous. You can't do that? There are blogs out there, man. I have a WordPress blog that allows for comments. What is holding vocalmedia back from allowing some sort of proper engagement on the platform? This reader insight stuff is garbage. No one asked for that. It just makes me wonder where all this money is going. What is it going to the companies that are sponsoring these challenges? Let me get back on that. I'm gonna get back to the money thing in a second, but I just wanted to point out another weird thing that I haven't heard many other people talk about. There was one other person on Medium who brought this up, but I haven't really heard anyone else talk about. There's some sort of Nigerian mirror site. I think it's called Opera News, and I, by accident, through Googling, found out that this Nigerian site has been taking content from vocalmedia and basically just putting it on their own site without any reference to the original author. So where my name used to be, it's just vocalmedia. And that just makes me wonder, is the site doing this? Are they illegally pulling content from vocalmedia? Or is vocalmedia somehow involved? Are they selling this content to a Nigerian site and maybe making their own independent money through views and hits that don't trickle down to the people that actually wrote the content for the platform? I don't know, so I can't get into I can only theorize what's going on with the site, whether it's illegally being done or if vocal media is totally unaware. So I can't get into much of that, but that's just another weird thing that I've noticed over the past 12 months. The thing I really want to touch upon that's very concerning, recently, a month or so ago, a writer by the name of Abina, she has her own publication called Abina Talks on Medium. She's talked in length about how she feels that vocal media is ripping her off. As I've mentioned in the past, it's exceptionally difficult to make money on vocal media. So if you are a member, you get about $6 per 1,000 views. And if you're not a member, it's like $3.80 per 1,000 views. So it takes a lot of views to generate any sort of income on the site. And then on top of that, you have to reach a certain threshold just to get that money. So again, $20 if you're a Vocal Plus member, $35 is the threshold if you are not. So as a side tangent, you might be interested to know I actually did make more money on vocal media in 2021 than I did on Medium. Now, you might find that perplexing because, as I said, I've struggled with getting any sort of views or any sort of reach on vocal media, and that has not changed. Like, if I actually looked at the statistics, I've made barely $6 worth of views my entire 12 months of being on the site, and yet I've accrued like $160. How did that happen? Meanwhile, I only made about $100 on Medium. So how exactly did this happen? Well, while I didn't make a lot of money through my actual writing, I got a lot of incidental bonuses and money for getting a top story feature and just other random stuff like the survey or the interview I mentioned from last year. Just this year, I was contacted by Vocal Media to participate in their Black History Month feature. So they occasionally just randomly give these very generous monetary compensations, and I'm not complaining. It's good, but it leads the site to be very inconsistent on what you can expect. If I write a story on Medium and it gets a lot of views, I know, provided that the people who read it are Medium members, I'm going to make a lot of money. With vocal media, it's like you really have to hustle. You have to promote your butt off to get any sort of reach on any of your work, to get any sort of income. And this Abina on Medium, she did just that. She hustled, she wrote, she produced content, and she was able to earn a large sum of money, like $400 in fact, on vocal media, which is impressive given the amount of views you need to accomplish that. So Abina gets the $400 and she's ready to redeem it. So she goes to redeem it and her Stripe account is blocked. And then Vocal Media comes back and says, like, we're not paying this. This looks like fraud. So yeah, that's not cool. There was a lot of back and forth that Abina had to do with Vocal Media, and only when Abina threatened legal action did Vocal Media finally concede and pay her $400. Now, I didn't want to speak in length about this because this was just an isolated incident. Admittedly, at first, she was the only one talking about it. As recently as about a week ago, apparently Abina knows a second individual who has had the same thing happen to her, where she was able to earn a large sum of money through writing and views alone, and Vocal Media has put the kibosh on paying. And that's not cool. That's one of the first objective sort of moments I would have about Vocal Media that would give me pause. As much as I don't agree with all the practices of Medium, they're still transparent, and they still treat their writers fairly and with respect. But this Vocal Media fiasco just sounds like a powder keg, like a ticking time bomb waiting to happen. It's questionable that Vocal Media would have no qualms of just throwing out thousands of dollars to their contest winners, but when someone actually, through their own grit and determination and hard work, earns an income through their writing, and suddenly Vocal Media puts their foot down and says, no, we're not going to pay, that's not right. That's not right. And I I revisit again, like, is this a site that I want to continue using once my Vocal Plus membership has expired? And the answer is no. I mean, I might still continue to write. As of right now, I don't write original content for Vocal Media. Whatever I write for Wattpad or for my website, I will also occasionally put on Vocal Media just to accrue something. But it seems a bit like a pointless errand at this point, because I'm really not making any sort of money. I get maybe 1 cent, 2 cent a view on my writing. So I think it's either August or September where my membership's done. I will not be renewing for another year. And now this is the first time I would actually say maybe rethink if you want to put your content on Vocal Media, like even if you don't care about making money. Again, I've mentioned in the past Simile. Simile is a recent site that's come about. You make 2 cents a view on your writing. I haven't made anything yet. It's like has the same problem as Vocal Media in terms of reach, but it seems harmless enough at the moment. It doesn't seem like they've had any sketchy practices. They're still new. And to Vocal Media's credit, they're still fairly new too. So I could be saying this all now and change my mind a few months later. Even with Medium, I got fed up with Medium in 2019, threw a hissy fit and stopped writing for about a year, but then came back with my tail between my legs at the end of 2020. So I'm going to attribute to growing pains for Vocal Media. They're not a perfect site. They are not a scam, but they need to really work on how they treat their members and how they just handle their business. Because right now, I've heard a lot more complaints than positivity from the website, and it just makes me wonder if it's even going to be sustainable in the following 12 months. Like maybe I won't even be talking about Vocal Media in 12 months. I might be doing a eulogy about the site because it might not exist. But that's the case for a lot of writing platforms, right? Like there has to be a way to be sustainable beyond venture capital or what have you. Like the site's ad free, and so they must be getting their money from somewhere. But I question how the site's going to operate once that somewhere closes up shop or decides not to contribute to the platform anymore. I know they have sponsored posts, and I know they must have sponsors with some of these insane challenges. But if either of those ever were to dry up, well, they're going to be in the same boat as Figment. Don't know Figment? Look it up. Anyway, so yeah, that is my 1-year review of Vocal Media. I hope you've enjoyed this legacy of me following this site and giving my pros and cons about my experience. You have to make your own decisions and do your own research on whether you think it's worthwhile to participate in the site. But as it stands right now, if you really want to test your hand at writing, go to Medium, go to Simile, even go to Wattpad. Go to one of those three. But I don't know. Unless you just want to try for yourself and make your own opinions, I would, at this point, maybe rethink joining Vocal Media. If you like the content that I share here on YouTube, I would really hope that you like and subscribe. Maybe comment. I'd like to hear your thoughts if you've had any experience with Vocal Media, or if you have any suggestions of even more platforms that I may have neglected to mention. So that's all I have to say for now. Till next time, take care and bye-bye.